In the past, I've talked about how our diet and lifestyle can prevent issues such as depression. Well, here are three foods that you should avoid today in order to combat depression, as these have been linked to depression. A big proponent for the foods that we eat is that it can be linked to inflammation. Inflammation, when in its acute form or in a very short term process of inflammation, can actually be really good for our body. It's how our body protects itself and fights off illnesses and anything else that can cause problems to our body. However, in the long term, inflammation can cause lots of problems, including heart disease, cancer, and in this case, depression. The first food that has been linked to depression is processed meats. The beloved deli meat sandwich, which so many people in America probably have each and every day for lunch. I myself grew up eating it probably from kindergarten through senior year of high school, more often than not. Yes, it can be quite tasty. However, those processed meats, in order to last longer on the shelves and in our fridge and to give them extra flavor, have been pumped full of extra preservatives and things that can add inflammation in our body. They can have been linked to all kinds of different health problems. But in this case, unfortunately, deli meat and processed meat has been linked to depression. An alternative, though, for deli meat is getting your own meat, whether that's chicken or turkey, and slicing it up yourself and making your own sandwich. I honestly think it tastes better this way. This next item may be surprising to some, as some even consider this a health item, and that's fruit juice. Fruit juice is loaded in sugar, and some of them even have more sugar than soft drinks and other unhealthy beverages that we would consider unhealthy. Most fruit juices are also full of preservatives and other unhealthy ingredients in order to keep them shelf stable. Depression is just one of the many symptoms or problems that have arisen out of people that regularly drink fruit juice. Fruit juice, like I said, is already really high in sugar, and sugar has lots of links towards inflammation and depressive-like symptoms. Instead of fruit juice, try making a smoothie, which includes the whole fruit and has a lot more fiber in order to help our body process those sugars in a more natural way. Or just try diffusing water or fruit in water, such as lemon water, or adding other berries to your water in order to give it some flavor. This next item in food is in so many different things that we eat, from Chinese food to hamburgers to pizza to cookies, tacos, and even pasta. And that is refined grains. Refined grains have been whole grains that have been milled and processed in order to remove a lot of the vitamins and nutrients in them in order to make them more shelf stable, as well as to make them more appetizing to the average person. However, in this process, as I said, there's a lot less nutrients in them, and they're really just empty calories. However, the things that are in them are very unhealthy. And there's a lot of added things once they are put into foods in order to, as I said, make them shelf stable. They're linked to all kinds of problems such as depression, inflammation, and problems in the gut and the gut microbiome in our body, which again is linked to the brain, as I've talked about in other videos, in the gut-brain connection. Eating refined processed grains has been linked to depression, and those that often consume them have higher rates of depression. One of the reasons being is, as you probably have guessed, higher rates of inflammation. However, it has also been shown to increase our blood glucose levels, which can throw our hormones off, and oftentimes having our hormones out of whack can also cause problems with our mental health. Instead of reaching for refined processed grains or foods that cause or that contain some of those things, instead reach for items that have whole grains in them, or you can forgo grains altogether and use quinoa instead of rice, corn tortillas instead of flour tortillas, or using pasta that is made with lentils or chickpeas or things like that, which can be just as good. So there you go. There's three foods that impact our mental health in a variety of different ways. If you have depressive-like symptoms or you're more prone to become depressed, maybe it's a good idea to try and eliminate these foods from your diet and see what happens. Or if we're just trying to live a healthy life, as most of us are, it may be a good idea to just try and avoid these as much as possible, especially because there's other options out there. So I hope you took a few things away from today's video, and I hope this helps you live a healthy and meaningful life.